I am very, very hyped for this next game between Team Alpha and Team Beta as the lobby is gonna start filling up here between these two teams. Expectations, let's do it once again. Both teams know what happened in the first game. They know what happens if they ban the champions that they did in the first game. Are we expecting similar bans or are we expecting different ones? I, for one, for example, am expecting a Fiora ban again. I'm not expecting the Thresh ban as I did in the first game. Not that Funny didn't play a good Thresh game, but it wasn't overwhelmingly good to actually have to waste a ban on it.
Well, I feel like Funny really did keep the game together for them on the bot lane. Could have been
That's true.
so much more damage if he didn't land the flays, land the hooks at the right time. So I would not be surprised for Trash Ban there. Fiora Ban definitely gonna come true, and it was very smart of them to also pick the Shen away because Love might also play Shen, so they basically hit him on two fronts, forcing him to play something else in which he was not able to carry this game, even though he did some nice plays. And as you said, we are seeing some similar bans coming through. Alistar again taken away from Mahonixman. Will keep going on
Fiora
another
face.
tank, and you see them focusing the top lane here again.
Red side this time they do of course swap sides. Blue and red side now beta and alpha instead of alpha and beta. As red side now goes for the Jin ban because of the first pick, as of course on the side of blue side. Blue side does go for the Nunu and Fizz ban again. However, this time they take away the Shen from Electro, as they don't want to see him playing that again after seeing what he can do on it the first time around. Tom
And
Kench
Adam
is
and
Samira, by the way.
oh, not Ezreal this time.
Not an Ezreal. It is a placeholder, but it's not Ezreal. It's not Ezreal. So it is Samira.
All right. All right, so we see the Samira coming in, and the Vayne goes
Nice.
to
Love it.
Kaosa. We said it last game. Vayne being a very, very big pick in his arsenal is able to play it, and as well, Vayne isn't it also a pick for Electro? Isn't he like
Ooh.
one of the people who doesn't feel too dirty to play that champ on the top lane? So this actually could be a Vayne flex pick
Wait,
here.
it's even better. It's even better. Kaozo, Netzi, and Electro, all three have Vayne in their top three Mastery champions. So
Three-way flex.
it's a three-way flex with Vayne top, mid, and bottom. Most likely not gonna go for mid. Could go top, I guess. It's not unseen and unheard of. On the other side, I do think Vayne first pick is pretty crazy. Um, However, of course, they do know that Samira is their opponent, and then the Nautilus into a Vayne. I mean,
That's questionable.
of course, what else do you go on support these days?
Uh, Xerath or Velkos, anything that can poke really hard. Usually, when you play in solo duo queue and you see a Vayne, your first thing that comes to mind is okay. Let's poke her down. Let's pick some nasty champs like the Xerath, Velkos, Zyra, something like that, which just makes her life a living hell. But Nautilus has to make sure that he doesn't get in the wrong position because a Vayne will melt you very, very fast. And here they're taking away that Irelia
Galio.
from Flatline, who of course did have a pretty good game on her last time. And they're not risking
Victor's
the
open.
Kassadin again.
Kassadin gets taken away from Netsi this game. They don't want them to get that type of late game insurance again this game. However, he never reached it last one. But that does mean that Victor's open, something that he does like to play a lot of as well. Camille going to Electro eventually. Aside from Riven, that's probably his second favorite champion, I think, for Electro. So he's on a big, big comfort pick, as well as the Funny, who has taken Leona. So they're all on comfort picks at this point.
And I'm guessing that they're not gonna pick a tank on the top lane, because at the moment against Camille and Vayne, you do not want it. And while I say it, they just go for the Malphite, which is really, really ballsy, because you can get melted so easily.
But AP Malphite.
AP Malphite, man. that I can agree with. When you go full AP and you just throw that juicy Q in the face of Camille in the lane, yeah, she is gonna take a lot of damage. So if it's AP Malphite, I agree. If it's full tank Malphite, then we'll have to see, because once you're in, you can't go out with a Malphite, especially against a Leona and a Namu. Gonna be really hard. And you were talking about the Victor. It's being hovered here for Netsi, and it's gonna
Boom.
be the matchup Azir
Nails
Victor.
it.
So yeah, good spot, sir.
Good spot there, sir. Victor, as we've said before, is a comfort pick, is something that Netsi has been playing a lot of lately. However, on the other side, we do have Flatline picking up Azir. Has not played a lot of Azir on this account, at least lately, but it is one of his top mastery champions, if not his #1 mastery champion. So it is something that he does like to play quite a lot of. So both mid laners gonna go in for a fairly late game oriented champion here. Victor can basically 1v9. Azir can do the same if he does have the frontline and the peel for himself there. So I'm interested to see the mid lane matchup here between Netsi and Flatline once again, as of course Aurelia was taken away from Flatline in the draft phase this time around.
Yeah, we will have to see how they go head to head with two caster mages. And definitely the top lane, I keep saying it, Camille, I can't lane against her for the life of me. She just too much damage. That shield is so annoying. She can jump in and out, does tons of damage with that Q proc. So I'm really wondering how Lovemai will do it in that matchup. I'm guessing that he's gonna play the map again, and going to look for those engages with that unstoppable force on the bot lane, because you do have the Vayne. Once she's caught out, it's gonna be so hard for her to survive, and what better way to do it is with a Malphite ult, of course, if she can flash and put those silver bolts in the back. It's gonna be easy pickings for Kaosa, and we already saw in Fed last game. Maybe he can do it again, but this time on his dreaded Vayne.
The dreaded Vayne getting 2 tanks on the other side for him to hit onto in the Nautilus and Malphite's Lovemai. Of course, Malphite could go full AP here, but I'm expecting him not to do that at all, as the Sunfire Egg is of course a very strong item at this point in the meta in the game. 4-1 probably composition for Team Alpha here. Red side, for those not knowing where Team Alpha and Beta are. Team Alpha red side, Team Beta blue side this game. With a Camille, gonna look for the split push later on in the game. Should be able to 1v1 most of the enemies, except maybe Azir could be difficult for Camille to deal with eventually. But aside from that, should be fine for Electro to keep split pushing in the solo lanes.
Yeah, you gotta watch out, because Samira, okay, it's an AD carry, but it's also a little bit of an assassin, especially when she gets ahead. These days Samira always go for that shield bow into Bloodthirster combo, which gives her just this insane amount of lifesteal, especially when she hits that Inferno trigger. Just Katarina ulting all around while gaining another health bar. So we'll have to see if there is a possibility for Reflection to assassinate Kaosa in the bot lane. So if he's able to do that, it's gonna be pretty nasty. And they do have the setup. Nautilus, Leona. The person that hits the other AD carry first is gonna have a good time, and that's where they want to go with that lane. And they also have so much setup for ganks. So bot lane, I feel like that is the lane to go to. Teleport there, gank there, put your resources there, and one of those AD carries is gonna be an absolute monster to play against. And if I would be a Malphite or any tank, I would
Run away.
That it's not Vayne. Please don't let it be Vayne.
I would actually run away. Of course, on red side they have the Amumu, which has been picked up a lot in this preseason with the Sunfire Aegis, with the demonic, what's it called? The demonic, the demon item. There it is.
Demonic Mask, Demonic Ascension,
Demonic Embrace. I think it's Embrace.
Demonic Embrace.
Should be Embrace. Combined with the Solar Flare, combined with Victor's ultimate, and then a hopefully free hitting, very strong Vayne. This could look really good for red side. Of course, on the other side, we have a lot of team fighting potential in the 5v5 form, of course, with the very, very hard engage of Malphite Hecarim, followed up by a, well, free hitting Azir Samira and peeling Nautilus. So they're gonna have to find a way to deal with the 1-4 of red side here if they do decide to go for that.
Yeah, it's as you say, they have such a good engage on blue side in Team Beta. If Team Alpha can survive that initial engage with all the ultimates, then it's their fight to win. They really need to make sure that their shot counts for Team Beta and that they find the key targets, the Victor or the Vayne, because we've been talking about the AD carries here, but Victor with the new items, with the buff to his passive, because he doesn't have the Hex Core anymore in his inventory as an item. He can now have 6 full items. He is so strong, also with the evolutions to his abilities, kind of like a Kha'Zix would work. So he can do a lot of damage. So if they don't stack, they're gonna have to make a choice, and that's where you want one of them to be shut down, so you do not have to worry about the threat so much. So wondering who they're gonna focus, but as I said before, I think bot lane definitely the place to be.
Alright, as we are gonna jump into the loading screen here between these two teams of the second game here between Team Alpha, Team Beta. Team Alpha picking up the first win of these 3 games. For those who just tuned in, we are gonna have 3 games. The first one was for Team Alpha. It's not a best of 3, it's just 3 games, so they could 3-0, they could go 2-0, and then the other team wins the last one going 2-1. Doesn't matter, we're just gonna have 3 games between these teams, as we are gonna load into Summoner's Rift very, very soon. In the Champions League, looking at the rules, not a lot of special crazy things, I believe. Right here off the bat, going pretty standard runes and masteries as we do enter the Rift.
Well, we do see, of course, the Meteor on Malphite, which is pretty standard, but it's also a very good rune for AP Malphite. I'm just saying, the dream is still alive. He can still go full AP. Nothing is holding him back. If he would have picked Grasp, then you would also already suspect, like, okay, he's gonna go tank. But with the Meteor, he's still, yeah, love my teasing us a little bit with that full AP rock coming our way. Let's see how he goes. Not even giving us anything with a Doran's Ring or Doran's Shield. No, Corruption Pot incoming. So definitely keeping the crowd warm for this one while they're strolling in for the invade.
They do look for a hook, and
Flash.
Mahonix Man not gonna find the hook here. Could go flash auto attack on Kaoza here to root her in place. Does find the hook eventually. They
Flash.
might. She does flash out of there eventually. Not choosing to do that. What is that Azir skin? He put down a police officer. What?
Isn't that... No, it's not SKT. Azir, right?
I don't.
Is that even a skin? I don't know. Isn't it a world champion skin?
I don't know.
Am I going crazy?
Yes.
Darn it. It's over. Somebody take my spot.
Sadness. Both teams. Both teams not doing the same as last time. This time, Team Beta did go for the invade here, as they are gonna take away the blue buff from Amumu. Of course, something he does like to have in the beginning. Victor might be able to do some poke or steely Roonies here. Not gonna be the case, as I assume Amumu is gonna go for a counter invade after taking his red buff.
Yeah, we saw in earlier games that it's possible for the jungler now to run straight to his own blue, so he doesn't lose it to the counter invade and is able to 3-buff the other jungler. We see Aragon starting the Raptors into the red buff, so kind of taking a slow route, so I'm not sure if he will go for that invade. Meanwhile, Lapis choosing to totally pick the whole jungler on the blue side. So nothing left for Aragon. If he doesn't choose to counter invade but walk to the rest of his jungle, he's gonna be in for a bad time. And at the moment, bot lane became so much more dangerous for Team Alpha, with Oza losing his flash early on. If there is any sort of threat, any sort of gang there, he will die for sure, even though he is the exhaust.
Kaoza going in for the exhaust here as Amumu on the top side of the map gonna go in for the first gank of the game. Finds the bandage toss red buff. First blood does come in as the hook lands onto Kaoza, able to tumble out of there. Funny finding his aftershock. First blood goes to the Amumu here. So once again, Team Alpha picking up the pace. As a lot of damage goes down on Reflection.
That press the attack into the Silver Bolt proc was kinda nasty.
Gnarly.
They won the trade. Gnarly procs. And Aragon gonna smite away Skullcrab. Will he get away?
Hecarim does use his goat there, does get locked into place by the gravity field from Netzi, who might be able to find the kill here. Eventually flashes behind him. Now he does have double buff. Can proc red buff onto the Azir. Does not choose to continue the chase though. However, now a double buff Victor. I don't like it.
He's gonna hurt so much. He already hits pretty hard with those auto attacks that you can weave in after your Q shield. But now with the red buff, it's gonna burn you afterwards as well. So that's not something you wanna play against. And Aragon doing some good moves, going to top after he's been invaded on his blue, getting the first blood, going for the scuttle, and then baiting the jungler as well to die to the mid laner, giving the double buff. Aragon totally 200 IQing the enemy at this point.
But Amumu is OP at this point, so it's just the champion.
So it does not count.
Okay.
No, I get it. I get
Fine.
it now.
-2 kills here, as they do go hard here on Mahonix, man. The Silver Bolt's doing quite a lot of damage already. One more auto attack should be enough, but the block comes through. It is enough with the condemn. Now in top lane, Electro going really low. He's gonna fly back in. Look how low they both are. Love my ass. No HP. The same goes for Electro. Ooh, they're gonna bait each other here. Both maybe thinking that the... Oh, no! The sweep from Camille coming through Reflection with the flash. And the cleanse gonna be both used to pick up a kill on Vayne. As that is the first kill for Team Beta here. 4-1 on the scoreboard.
Okay, there were some interesting fights going on. First we had the bot lane, where Team Alpha went really deep on Mahonix man. Reflection almost managed to save him there, with of course the blade swirl of twirl, or whatever you want to call it.
Swifty Bifty.
The Swifty Wifty blade that blocks all the incoming projectiles, like the Yasuo wall. Dies to the pin against the wall. And then top lane, Lovemai, not sure what he was trying to do there. Don't think that there was any kill range on Electro with his Q, but just gets swept from his feet. Don't think he really expected the range on that W. Now he's in trouble. Level 6 against 4. This is a dead rock if I ever saw one.
Yeah, this should be a dead rock. Still has a flash up. Does not want to use that, of course, as the bandage toss from Amumu was still up. Saves that till the very end to stunlock him and burst him from hero to 0. 0-3 and 0 Malphite. I mean, he's not gonna do a lot in this game.
This hurts so much because it's already a hard game against the Vayne and Camille, and now you're 0-3. However, he did go the Dark Seal, and now the Cloth Armor, so I think he was kind of cheekily going for that AP, but now his team is like, dude, stop feeding and go tank. He just went to the base with a very sad smile and bought Cloth Armor. Not sure what's happening there, but you have to see how the rest of his build turns out. Maybe he's going for the Seekers.
Oof.
Now they're going in on the Vayne.
A flash on Vayne, though. Condemn comes through onto the Nautilus. Look at the damage. Vayne not going to be able to survive that. Funny and Netzi now in a 3v2 situation. Funny going really low. Might be able to find the kill on Hecarim. It should be enough as he chases to Oblivion. Let's see, finding the kill there. Trade kill eventually, but the hook coming through smacks him into the floor. The stun isn't going to be enough. Shouldn't be. Azir is part of the fight. Is not able to CC him as Samira picks up the kill on Leona as well. So now blue side team Beta winning across the map.
Very well played by Reflection there.
Well, except for top
Doing
lane.
the block at the exact right time, again saving Honixman there. Was in a tough spot, getting hit pretty hard by the silver bolts into the press the attack. And yeah, nothing to say about Reflection's performance on the Samira at this point, going in for kills and really setting back Kaosa on his main champ on the Vayne in the bot lane, which is definitely a win factor for them. But you still have this problem in the top lane. Love my losing a chunk of HP from that combo from Electro, who doesn't really want to go all in when that Hextech ultimatum isn't up yet.
Also, I think that Malphite probably just went Dark Seal for a Corrupting Potion. I mean... Oh, sorry, Malphite. It's for full AP Malphite. Never mind, it's
Why
for full AP Malphite.
Why are you trying to hurt me?
No, it's for full AP Malphite. My bad.
Okay, that's fine.
No, I'm assuming that Malphite would always go... sorry, that Malphite would always go tank here. Of course,
have you seen my games?
Yes, but do you play on the master level of League of Legends?
Thank you.
Anyways, Malphite should be going full tank here with the Sunfire Aegis, of course, which at this point is very strong. Mumu going to go the same as... that should be it, I don't think. I still want to see Leona go Sunfire Aegis. She always goes Locket. At least she did in the scouting grounds.
Oh, the pony
real
coming
organized, but now the pony gonna go in. Vayne is gonna use his other ultimate there. Ignite, sorry, Exhaust coming through. And then with the onslaught of shadows, it should be fine. Now it's a 4-0-1 Samira. So the AD carry is basically trading lives and just saying, well, now it's my turn to be fed.
Well, as I said, during Champ Select, bot lane is gonna be the place to be, and this game has not been nothing but Vayne spotting all the way, just getting engaged on 24/7 by Mahonixman and Lapis Shortcuts, and even Flatline has been there. The only thing we're missing is a juicy teleport from Lovemai, and everyone had a piece of cake on that party, but now he's in trouble, and this is gonna be the easiest dive in the lives of Team Alpha.
The easiest dive of the life. As they do pick up another kill on Malphite. 0-4-0 at this point. 30 CS behind on Camille. And I mean, Camille's gonna split push. Camille's gonna go with her team for a 1-4 composition, and she's gonna stay in side lanes. No one on blue side can stop her. What does blue side do here to actually cope with the Camille at this point?
We still have a lot of engage potential on the Camille. Lovemai, however, being set back enormously. 0-4. It's going tank, by the way, Bramovitz. He's always gonna have his uses with that unstoppable force, with the attack speed reduction. So even though you shut down a Malphite, he always has his value. However, he is also gonna give some more money to the red side.
And a great flash there by Malphite. He still had the... Sorry, I thought he had this. So where did he use the unstoppable force? I thought he still had it. Was gonna and would have gone for
he used it during the dive earlier, but didn't really matter.
Look, he gets taken down once again, and it's clearly a top side, strong side. Give him every resource in the game here. Win condition Camille here, of course, with once again the split push, and nobody is going to be able to stop Electro at this point in time, and doesn't look like they will anytime soon either.
Lapis Shortcuts trying to make another play happen on the bot lane. You see them being zoned away, and they're respectively trading the turrets, but of course with that Herald advantage. Team Alpha able to secure that first turret gold for them, so well played for that rotation. And that gives them a slight advantage in gold. Got that 1.5k up front, but if you look at Reflection 4-0, not sure if they are fully in the driver's seat yet.
doesn't... I don't know, I mean, they are of course... Well, as this is going on, Vayne is going to use a really good tumble ultimate there, finding the kill as well, which is going to be really good for Vayne to actually find a second kill this game. At this point, if we do look at the gold difference, 5.5k gold for Samira total, and 4k gold for the Vayne as the hook goes wide.
Oh no.
The ultimate does go down. Aragon is part of it right now. Does not have Curse of the Saturn on it. No, he actually does. He doesn't choose to use his ultimate, however, and wisely backing off as the teleport from Azir did come through to stop the big fight.
And it's nice. I'm gonna hold it because Love My in a world of pain.
Love My is not gonna survive this one. Electro pick up. Oh no, never mind. He's gonna survive this one. Nah,
Oh,
Electro is gonna find the kill eventually with the flash into the bush, and now Azir also in a world of hurt, rock and a hard place. Oh wow!
This is Juke City. What is happening?
Jukeville 3000 Mumu flashing over the pit. Not gonna be necessary, but you know, better safe than sorry.
And it went a little bit downhill for the blue side at this point. Team Beta sticking to their plan, keep focusing that bot lane, but this time going a bit too ham on Kaosa there, resulting in a kill for him. And they're able to pick some things up left, right, and center. Lappy Shortcuts not being able to match this Victor yet, who is getting really, really strong, has his mythic item complete, is 3 in 1, and able to burst most of the members on Team Beta at this point. Don't think Flatline is able to match him as well. Went for the, let me see, the Leandrix.
Ooh, wow. Well,
oh boy.
That's a dead Victor if I've ever seen one. Tries to do as much damage as he can. 4 on 1. 3 on 1 eventually. Reflection not being able to pick up a assist for himself there. Flash hook into the Onslaught of Shadows. What are you going to do about it?
You're gonna look at a gray screen for about 25 seconds and move on. That is exactly what you're gonna do about it. But
Easy.
That being said, it's still the red side in the driver's seat here. Flatline, so much damage from the Sheen proc. Damn.
He does have the
Electro, Divine Sunderer. It's nasty.
I mean, they have the he has the fancy footwork, right? He has the
shuffly shuffle.
The shuffly shuffle. There it is. Can the casters
the
enable
one.
Drake timers? Yes, we can. I apologize for being late.
Gonna reset the map here a little bit, clear out the camps, and yeah, if I were on Team Beta at this point, I would really want to play around this Reflection, make sure that he is the focus point. You have a lot of peel for him. Azir can also peel for his AD carry here, and if he is able to do some damage, you're gonna get there, because at this point Kaosa only has that shield bow. Not gonna be the biggest threat in the world yet on his Vayne, since he has been shut down. So if you want to win a team fight, this is the way to do it. Lovemai is still gonna be useful with that unstoppable force, and they do have 2 Drakes, so this is a win condition for them. Mountain Soul on the Malphite can put him back in the game,
and Nautilus.
You're able to pick that one up.
Mountain Soul on a tank Malphite, a pretty tanky Nautilus, a maybe a bit tanky Hecarim could of course help them out quite a bit, and the extra survivability on Azir and Samira.
Will not let this happen.
Both teams are gonna look at this. Aragon just walking into the pit. Who's gonna pick this up? The unstoppable force gets used. It is Aragon picking it up eventually. No soul point for blue side here, as Camille doing so much damage does get taken down. Now Samira in the middle of everybody, gonna be able to use her ult, flashes out to safety, picking up 1, maybe a second one. It is gonna be a double kill, could be a quadra kill. The shuffly shuffle is back on the board as Aragon has to wiggle his way out of this one. And Mahonix man picking up a ward there. Drake does go to red side, but the fight goes to blue side here.
Definitely one fight by blue side, trading 2 for 4 members of Team Alpha, but yeah, the Drake does set them back a little bit. Of course, the first Mountain Drake for Team Alpha isn't the biggest deal in the world to lose it, I'd rather have some more kills on this AD carry who did a really good job, and you also saw Lovemai going in the backline with the unstoppable force, being like a little nuisance, distracting them for a second to give Reflection the time to deal with the front line of Team Alpha. And that's all he has to do. He's 0-7, but he's still doing what he has to do as the Malphite, even though he can't do it for very long at this point. But what he has lost in his lane, Reflection is making up for it, of course. Also love my playing the weak side, getting ganked over and over again. And also, if we have to be fair, playing a little greedy there, dying 1v1, while he didn't have to. And that results in the state of the game at this point. Team Beta looking for another engage.
They're not looking for it, they're actually going for it as Horcrux is going really low here. Not going to be able to be taken down immediately. And look at Vayne, this is the one we have to be watching out for. Does get taken down as well as Camille. This should be a fight for Samira and her boys. Look at the heals coming through, but they find the kill eventually. And it's a double for Samira, but also I believe a double for Amumu. Yes, there it is, picking up a double for himself. This time it is red side winning the fight and only Azir being alive, as he was not part of that fight even.
And if that Victor stun didn't reach Reflection during his Inferno trigger, he would have killed them all. It was so clutch that that came true, else the healing and the AoE damage would have been too much. As they would have just won the 4v5 straight up against Team Alpha, and that is of course very bad news for them. 8-1 Samira at this point, and Flatline getting a little bit extra CS in that side lane with XP up. So not sure if this is necessarily very bad for the blue side, because there was no objective to get from winning that team fight. It's always something you have to look into when you're going for these trades, that you can convert this into a play on the map. Meanwhile, Baron spawning in 40 seconds and Drake 2 minutes away. Probably something they will prepare for, because the Mountain Drakes pretty nice on those tanks.
Yeah, they lose the fight there, but aside from that, not really much happens. Azir wasn't even part of the fight. It was a 4v5. They didn't really lose the fight that hard, as they do find 3 kills in return for the 4 that they did lose there. Both teams pretty even at this point. 1 and 1.5k difference, I guess, in the advantage of red side here. However, they do... Poor Shelly. Of course, they do have the 8-1 and 4 Samira, and with the Immortal Shield Bow and Collector on her side at this point, if she does get off a good ultimate, it can change the fight entirely. Of course, red side knows this, knows what they have to do to stop it. They have the Electro stun, they have a lot of stuns on Aragon, and of course Funny on the Leona should be able to stop that as well. So it's going to be difficult for Reflection here, but she is fed, so could do quite a lot of work here.
Yeah. Did choose that Collector instead of the Bloodthirster, which you usually see on the Samira. Well,
could be next.
Yeah, definitely we'll go for that as a third item to make sure that if he gets the opportunity to get some sneaky autos in during the team fight, he will stay healthy. Very, very hard to kill. We do not see any grievous wounds so far on the side of Alpha, so kind of have to think about that, because Samira is the biggest threat. How are you going to deal with that? You have Electro being able to jump on her, but
Electro has TP.
To be honest, if Lovemai just keeps his ultimate to ult to peel for Reflection, that is going to be easy pickings for him.
This fight
is going to be another big fight.
Could possibly be insane. Malphite gonna look for the correct carry, but look, he gets bursted down, finds 2 people in his ultimate, but gonna be taken down really quickly after that, as Dragon does keep getting focused here. Samira does get taken down. Another double kill for Amumu, the same as a couple fights ago, as they pick up this Drake for themselves as well. That's the second Drake for them. Azir once again being the only one to survive this fight. Otherwise it would have been a clean ace. They win the fight, go for Drake, and Camille gonna be joining in as well. Ooh, this is huge for red side.
And this was really big plays by Netsi there, using that ultimate to totally zone away Team Beta there. He couldn't get close to the pit and forced Lovemind together with the Solar Flare to ult in prematurely. And while they're dealing with their front line of Team Beta, Reflection just was on the other side of the wall. He wasn't able to do any damage during that fight. And once he was there to fight, everyone was dead already, so it got focused down. 4v1, nothing to do about it. And all in all, really clean by Team Alpha. Definitely taking a huge lead this game of the back of that fight, because Reflection, yeah, wasn't really a threat there in that situation. So they're gonna have to make sure that when they fight, when they engage or re-engage, that he is in the position to follow up. Else they're gonna lose 90% of their damage, and it's gonna be GG for Team Alpha.
Yeah, it's looking really good for Team Alpha at this point. They are miles ahead, basically. And also, the guys on Team Beta, blue side, doesn't really have an answer for the split pushing Camille here. Electro going really deep here on Lovemind. He's tanky, but he's not going to be tanky enough to yikes
Well,
the true that. Well, you know, remember when I
he's
said he was
0-10.
tanky? I lied. It was a great joke by me. Ha ha ha. Malphite not tanky enough at all. Oh, 10 and 6. Not the greatest game of his life. As on the other side, the tank in Amumu, 7-0 and 8. Probably one of the better games of his life.
Well, if Lovemai was a Yasuo player, he would have reached his power spike now. So we can look it in that light, I guess. But we'll see if he can channel his inner wasabi. See if he can do some plays there. Meanwhile, Team Alpha pushing hard with the Baron buff across the lane, split up the members, so getting some more value out of that. Netsi might be caught here.
He might be, but he's not, as he does find stun with his W there. Gravity field, gravitational field, whatever it's called. It's a stun, and he finds it. And that is the most important part there, of course. As Mahonix Man once again gonna start grouping with his team here to maybe find another pick. Red side gonna go for a little reset here. 2 more minutes on this next Drake. And for both teams, a pretty important one. The team that gets the next one is going to be on Soul Point. And imagine a 4 Mountain Drake Mountain Soul on this 7-0 and 8 Amumu.
He's already unkillable, and I'm gonna guess he does tons of damage as well with the Demonic Embrace. And of course, just the items in general now for tanks are really nasty to deal against when they're ahead. I've seen some tank games where they did the most damage in the game. I'm gonna guess Aragon is really going for that one as well. And with Kawaza being behind a little bit, we might say that he had a rough laning phase. He might be able to get that spot here. However, Netsi, of course, being a big nuisance, getting the Lich Bane now to do the continuous damage in these fights. Gonna have to watch Lovemai looking for a sneaky unstoppable force. It's not warded there.
Of course, his Lovemind finds the unstoppable force on Vayne there, and it can be followed up by a Shurima shuffle from Flatline. He could go down really easily as the unstoppable force does go in. Onslaught of Shadows is going to follow that up. Not going to survive that at all. They find a double kill here on Samira, and now the unkillable Amumu might be a little bit more killable, but he does get help from the Victor as Flatline does disconnect, and we have a little bit of a pause.
And I told you, Lovemind channeling his inner Yasuo, going for that 0-10 power spike, making a big play on the mid lane with that unstoppable force. And Reflection, this is the spot he wants to be in, not what happened at the Drake, where he's being zoned, can't do anything. This is what he wants. His team engaging, him being able to run forward and do the damage that he has been building. Because he has 3 items. He's still way ahead of the Vayne. If we look at the gold as well, he's almost 4k gold advantages against Kawaza. So if he's able to do damage, he will always be able to outdamage him at this point. But yeah, he has to be set up by his team, and Lovemai understanding it, going for the play, and just being Malphite in general.
And it looks like Azir had a little crash in the game, but he should be back here. I'm gonna do some ready checks, I believe, to restart this game. Start it up once again. Mumu thought he might go down there, does not. Could still go for the perfect game. Of course, Malphite could go for the reverse perfect game. Right?
Could be.
The 0-10. Of course, at this point in time, he does have the Sunfire Aegis, which is pretty important for him to have picked up. And he has the Unstoppable Force, which can be really useful at all times in the game. Despite being 0 and 10, and a lot of trouble here. Gonna use the stopwatch there. Great Curse of the Sad Mummy is gonna be used there. Amumu, this might be the first step of the game for you. He is not gonna be taken down as he finds a double kill somehow. And meanwhile, Electro is split pushing to Eternity, and he finds the inhibitor. And now this is where the Mountain Drake is spawning once again.
Yeah, and they do get the pick, but they're not able to break open the base, and they lose their inhibitor. So this is still a win for Team Alpha here, since they do have that pushing wave now, and they're gonna pick up their third Mountain Drake. They're not able to contest this without their own jungler here. So yeah, red side, even though they were getting engaged, they're getting pushed heavily, it wasn't at the right time. And that's what we said earlier this game. You can engage a fight, you can go for it, but if you win and there are no objectives on the map, it's not really worth. Because you see, they used all their key ultimates there, and yeah, now they do not have anything to transfer it in. So Team Alpha playing the map better than Team Beta at this point.
Of course, if Amumu does not pick up a double kill there under the tower, it would have been, Dragon number 3. And first Mountain Drake for the guys on blue side, Team Beta. But they do lose 2 of their players under the tower there. Camille was coming in from bottom side to the Dragon. There was no real way they could have contested that. A bit unlucky for their dive, as Baron is spawning very soon and should be the next contested part of the map, while Camille still split pushing the bottom side.
Electro still being the biggest problem for Team Beta at this point, because there's no one who can really handle. However, they're going for the TP. Maybe they can get a pick on Electro here.
Ooh, the teleport.
They have to. The Baron is under pressure.
Teleport from Lovemai coming down. Great juke there from Electro, using the ultimate to stop the ultimate from Lovemai. But he might be able to find the kill here. Azir, of course, gonna be doing quite a lot of damage with the items he does have. Is he gonna find the kill? He does eventually find it. Malphite going down. Azir not being able to find it eventually. Amumu picking up the Baron. Azir does find Camille, but not only do they pick up the Baron, they pick up the kill on Hecarim as well. And now Vayne, of course, onto the Nautilus. Gonna be doing quite a lot of damage with those silver bolts. It is a 3 for 1 plus Baron buff, all in favor of red side, as they can put up a big push here with the Baron power play.
Yeah, the base will be crumbling for Team Beta here after that disaster of a fight, sending 2 people out to kill Electro and barely getting him while giving the life of their top laner. Meanwhile, losing the Baron, losing the fight there, and giving a lot of gold in general to the side of Team Alpha. They're on soul point, they have the Baron, they're in a generally good spot, so it's their game to throw at this point.
Also, they're on soul point and they have Baron, as you said, but they have a 10,000 gold, close to a 10,000 gold lead, close to a 9,000, gold lead at this point. Which is gonna be pretty big. 30 minutes into this game, they've taken down 2 inhibitors. Mid and bot inhib have been taken down. Camille still gonna go for a split push this time, all alone in the mid lane, as the other 4 gonna push in top lane. Of course, gonna systematically take down the base at this point. Gonna look for that 3rd inhibitor to be taken down here. Electro just needs to push in the minion wave and wait for the pressure on the other side.
Oh, they're going for it themselves.
They do find the hook here onto Amumu. You're going to be using the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Vayne exhausting the Hecarim, who has been jumping onto the back line since the start of this fight here.
Boy.
Now Camille going really deep, using ultimate on Reflection. He's fed, but does not find the damage, and he does get taken down. The double kill for Netsy's Victor, and it looks like this should be the end of the second game. Should be a 2-0 here for Team Alpha, as Lovemai is going to get slowed, does get stunned, double stunned, locked down completely, not able to do anything at all at that moment in time, and it looks like this is indeed the end of the second game. 2-0 for Red Side. Team Alpha showing what they're made of. Amumu with the perfect 10-0-12 score. And we're going to go into the third game here, and Team Beta, you're going to have to find some other things to do here, or they're going to look at a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, the last game, a little bit of a desperation engage by Team Beta there, seeing that Electro was not with the team, trying to get the kills, but the engage on Amumu wasn't really what you want there. So it gets turned around, and of course, with the big lead on Team Alpha, they ace the game here and make it 2-0. Okay, they won the series, but next game, it's still Team Beta's shot to get some revenge, to get that little justice game for them, show them what they got. And for me, this game, of course, MVP must go to our little sad mummy, Aragon. Played perfect game. What can you say? The man was a beast.
He played a very, very, very good game indeed, as he does go for the perfect game, 10-0-12 Victor, as we are looking at the damage graphs here, doing by far the most damage in the game, followed by Camille and then Azir, which is actually surprising to me because of the Samira, who was quite far ahead in the beginning of the game, but they played the 4-1 strategy pretty well, and Blue Side never really found a great response to it, and the real 5v5 fights were kind of short and making it possible for them to take this victory. We are going to be looking for a third game between this and the next 10 minutes, as the next lobby should be starting to form soon. We are going to take a short break, but we'll see you soon.